What is up, everyone? All football, Barcelona fans and football fans. Finally back again here with a new video in the new year. And it's been a week or two now into the new year, and it's almost 2 weeks now, and it's just been a bit crazy and up and down. Um, but only so far, only like had one since my last video, we only had like 2 or 3 La Liga games in total, anyways. But it's been league games that has not been the most incredible, like convincing, and and also the Cup of the Rey game that wasn't the greatest either. But they have all been wins, at least. We have been winning those games, but it hasn't been the most craziest of performances. And well, this is another episode, or maybe probably the first episode of the new revamped version of this show here on the channel. That was before called Barça News Weekly. This is now called Barça News Latest, or Barça Latest News. It's a work in progress title. It's a work title uh, until I get it more proper. But for now, that's what I'm gonna be calling it because it just makes it easier for me to do this. Less stress to get it out weekly video, like a weekly big video like this every week. Cause that was a little bit too much. Better to do it like this and just go through everything. And I promise it's not gonna just be one video and like every few weeks. I will try to do smaller ones in between, at least if I can, here and there. Maybe do some match reviews and stuff like that somewhat, and then talk about more of everything in these videos. Like that could probably come out sometime, maybe once, like in the middle of a month and the end of a month, something like that. It's like two of these each month or so, like kinda something like that. Um, so it's gonna be a little bit of a different format, um, but yeah. With that said, let's just get into today's topics. There's plenty to talk about surrounding Barcelona. Like Victor Roque coming into the club and making his debut. uh, Talking about our coming signings in our summer, and are we really signing the right here? So what should we be? Who should we be signing? And also, speaking of signings, there's some small rumors and updates on some special signings, like one of those young Swedish player named Lucas Bergvall. He's still on the radar for Barcelona, and also some other ones going forward too for the summer, that are some interesting rumors, but we'll see if they're true or not. And I'll be talking about all the latest games as well, and a few other ones too from other teams in Spain and some other things and stuff like that. Also, by the end. Well, let's start with the first thing here, and that will probably should be all the latest games for Barcelona. Let's start with that because I think that's the kind of the main thing. And we have had 2 league games so far, like in the last few weeks. 2 league games. Then we and then we've had one Copa del Rey game. Oh well, technically we've had one more in between. There was a friendly against Club America. What is it? America? Whatever they called, Football Club America, or something like that. No, the yellow badge. I think and we lost that game as well. So it was a useless game anyway. So it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna talk really about that one. It doesn't really matter. Um, I can say that there was some good performance like from the youngsters. Some youngsters could came in and show themselves in that game. So, but other than that, not too much really to talk about. It'll also be interesting some of the injuries and here and there what's been happening, but let's just get into the games. Let's talk first about quickly about the Almeria game before the holiday break that we had. I didn't get got that. I know that's many weeks ago now, but uh, I didn't get a chance to speak on about it. That game was just like one of these coming months I'll talk about too. That one is just a whole lot of mess. I just don't know what to really say because we're conceding goals way too much and making things way too hard for ourselves. And I'll be back. I'll come back to that a little bit later when we get to the Copa del Rey game. But um, this one we made it way too hard. Like it's just really insane that we can actually conceded 2 goals against these guys. Bottom of the table, and they scored first, and then we came back into it, and thinking we're gonna do something, but then they come in and somehow, they go up 2-1, and we're thinking, oh no, this is it, we're screwed. But somehow, this in some miracle fashion, once in a blue moon, he comes in and does something incredible. Sergio Roberto, I don't know, finally plays as a captain, and he scores 2 goals, 2 very important goals, and brings us back in to win the game 3-2. And this was just like, what the hell is going on? It's really crazy. Like, or I think maybe it was like comes in, he scores, and then they come back. I don't know exactly how the order of the goal. I don't remember, but he at least did come in. He made sure we won. He was the one who scored the winning goal, and then pretty much, and it's just absolutely crazy to think that, yeah, sometimes he can do that stuff. But it shouldn't just be coming down to that. It's just so for us to having to make a comeback against a team like Almeria, who are bottom of the table. It's not like we're facing someone like Real Sociedad or Atletico Madrid or something. I can understand that in those type of games. That would be a good thing then. Yeah, still frustrating that we concede and like we shouldn't be letting ourselves be losing, but at least you can see like, okay, a tough team. We understand. We fought back. We're playing still good. Like that's understandable. But against a bottom team like that, that's not okay. And should not be happening. But I'm happy that we won. That was a good thing before the holiday break, so we didn't have to think about that. That kept us over pretty good. But then we got into the new year. And things starting to get very just not so much fun, can I say? Like, should you really make it as it is? Because we started off, yeah, with some weird feelings overall, should we say, and some weird rumors as well about the January transfer window, but also I think there were already some small the injury thing on Pedri, of course. He's already been injured. He is back now, thankfully. I'll get to that later. He could be playing tomorrow in the Super Cup, but we're already feeling a bit weird going into the new year because of just how the team has really been. And we're going to this game against Las Palmas in feeling like, okay, please, just the new year, we should start it off the right way. Don't mess around too much this time, right? And to begin with, it does look kind of good. Yeah, it's a bit struggling. Once again, up front, we're missing way too many chances. And that's another problem as well. We're missing way too many. Either in games, we're either missing way too much or conceding stupidly way too much. Or maybe even sometimes like a manipulation or like a mix of both. And that's like the worst scenario then. Because that's just then the players just get confused and they don't know anything what they should be doing, or they don't know what, they just get lost and just lose focus entirely, and the mentality just goes out of the window. But we started off at least good. A scrappy goal, yes, the first goal for Ferran Torres, it was a scrappy goal, but at least it was a goal, right? We're thinking, okay, we're going into this good, we can do this, right? We can maybe get even more, try to get ourselves in there more and more. But what do we do then? As always, going to the second half, like I think it was maybe by the end of the first or beginning of the second. I don't remember exactly how it was, but we concede again. We concede, and they make it 1-1. Like later into the, and we're feeling okay. Here we go again. We just making it so difficult for ourselves. And the worst thing is, we let them score that. We let them score that goal. I think this was the one where, was that the cup came? I don't know. Something happened. Some individual mistake. I don't know if this was where Joe Felix messed up or was that in the cup game, but it was something that happened, and it just, as always, individual mistakes, and we concede, and we're feeling like, okay, here we go again. We're just making things harder for ourselves. And it kept going like that. We kept going in and we kept missing. And finally, we have the debutant final coming in. Vitor Roque making his debut. Well, I'll talk more about it a little bit later. But he comes in. He starts playing incredibly well, though. He has pretty good chances, too. He kind of brings back the energy into the performance, right? Into the team. And for the last like 20 minutes or like 10 to 20 minutes, we have some really good energy. And that's also what kind of at least gives us that last lifeline and the way to win the game 2-1, which is via a penalty. We do actually, yeah, you heard that right. We do actually get a penalty called in our favor, which is very rare nowadays, especially in La Liga. So that was great. Thank God. But doesn't mean like that it's just a good performance, even if we do win. Well, at least Gundogan steps up and he takes the penalty and he scores and he makes it 2-1 and we win 2-1. Thankfully. Thankfully, we escaped that very well and did not have to be down at 5th. Otherwise, if we did drop points there, we will be at 5th right now. We will be in the Europa League spot rather than a Champions League spot, and that would not be okay. So, thankfully, that made us go back up to to 3rd in the table. We can breathe a little bit, but we still did not play good enough. It was far from good enough. Way too many individual mistakes, way too many missed chances, and so lethargic and slow up front. Lewandowski, what is he doing? Lately, I just don't know what he's been doing. He should be this great world striker, but his form for the last like 3 or so months or something have been absolutely appalling when it comes to being in front of goal. And then we have Rafinha as well, who's just entirely also just lost his mark. But at least with him, we have some glimpses, right? He does something at some times. Gives us, he scores a goal like some way. But with Lewandowski, like, what is going on? And also, one more thing that's also kind of sad here, too, is João Felix has also been dropping in form. He's not been as good as he was back in, like, October, November there. He's just been dropping off. He hasn't scored in a while, and he's just been doing just stupid mistakes rather than actually showing his worth and why we should sign him permanently. He has not been proving himself now. And that has the club doubting, and that is very sad. Because I know that he can have a good place in this club, but right now he's not showing it. And I hope he steps back up again and does what he does best. And in this game, we also had an injury, of course, João Cancelo. And we'll see, it's a doubt that he will be available tomorrow night. He is with the squad. He could possibly feature, could possibly not. It's unsure with him, but hopefully he will be somewhat back soon. But not too serious, at least. but if it's more out, it'll probably be until the end of the month. But at least, yeah, we do win this thanks to some luck, but it shouldn't come down to that. It really shouldn't be. But okay, we did it, right? And we go into this kind of cup break, can you maybe say? Because 2 weeks without any league matches, just cup games that we are in right now. And last weekend was the first of those in the Copa del Rey, where we played a team. I can't remember the name right now. Something with you, I believe it was. I don't know. They're 4th tier. So I don't know. I don't remember, but I'll put it down below. But we were facing this team, and we were saying, okay, this is a game where we should be scoring goals, where we should be dominant and get a proper statement win, right? And feel good again. But what were we going to do? We go on to make it so much harder for ourselves. We started off good. Yes, we started off good. In the first half, we score a goal. I don't remember exactly who scored it, but we score a goal. Maybe it was Ferdinand, or maybe it was somebody else. I don't remember. But at least we do score. Either Rafinha or Ferdinand or somebody like that scored it. And then we go into halftime 1-0. Yeah, I would have wished it would have been more in that halftime. But, okay, we got one bullshit call for an offside goal on João Felix, which should never have been offside. If they had VAR and actually used it properly, they would have seen that that's not an offside. So, but what can you do, right? We should have been up 2-0 at the halftime, but we weren't. But, hey. At least we were leading on while playing. We're thinking, okay, fine, that's fine. Okay, no worries. Second half, go in there and then start scoring, and we can get it properly, and that's fine enough. And it begins kind of like that. In the second half, we do score again early. We get 2-0. But after that is where the bullshit begins. Really. We were just like, what are we doing? It's just really dumb. Like, it's just humbly stupid. How we handle this is so weird. I think this was the one, or maybe I got the last one wrong. Maybe it was another goal that was this was at the Las Palmas game. I think that was a penalty, right? But either way, we concede against these people. Yeah, against a 4th-tier team, we let them score. Right? And then it was. I was right. It's another penalty that comes up. We get, and I just can't believe my eyes. Shortly after we get that goal, we concede from that, and it's just such a dumb goal. I think this is the one where João Felix was messing up. We gave them a corner, and they shot it over, and they scored. I think it was something like that, or it was some other bullshit by some dumb individual mistake. Once again, we're making it too much harder for us, stressing ourselves out. Against a 4th-tier team. They play in the 4th league. Like, what the hell? And it's not like we were playing with only youngsters. That would be understandable then. No, we have plenty of experienced players on the pitch. That these things should not be happening. We should be keeping a clean sheet. I don't care if it's Thursday, if it's Peña in goal, not Thursday, and I don't care if it's fucking all 100-year-old Nan. We should not be conceding goals. Even if we're playing with fucking attention, people in the back. We should not be conceding goals against fourth-tier teams like this. Like, it's so dumb. And then by the end, once again, just like the last game, we get a penalty. And this time it's Lewandowski who steps up. Finally, he gets to score a goal again. And hopefully that will trigger something in him to start performing in these coming games, right? But then what do we do after that? At a time, right? We go in and we just have a brain fart, kind of, and just like black out, and we concede a penalty. Yeah, we give away a penalty, and they score, and they put even more pressure on us towards the last few minutes. Thankfully, we hold on, and the game ends 3-2. But like, what the hell? Like, why do we make it so hard for ourselves? Why are we making it so hard for ourselves to actually win these games against small opponents? Almeria, Las Palmas, and you see whatever the fuck they're called. These people, these fucking three teams, we should not be struggling. Okay, Las Palmas is not the worst opponent, like most easiest opponent, but it shouldn't be that much just trouble for someone like us, right? These are mid-table teams at best. Some of these, two of them are like, one of them is a relegation zone in the first, like in the league, in the first league, right, in La Liga, and one of them is in the fourth tier, in the fourth league. So, what the hell is going on? Why are we struggling so much? These are the teams we should not be starting. These are the teams we should be brushing over easily. Okay, I'm not like, I know you cannot win every single game perfectly, right? You cannot win every single game, and you cannot play every game of the whole season 100%. I get it, right? It's not possible, you know? Sometimes you have the worst days and stuff like that. I understand that. But this is becoming way more constant now. Way more of a recurring thing. In many games in a row. I can understand once in a while, right? Every like third game or something, or fourth, fifth, we mess up a little bit. Okay, I get it. We shouldn't be, but I get it, right? You can't always have a perfect day. That's just life. That's how football is. Something happens, you messed up, whatever. But for us to do it constantly, if in one game we messed up, we should be coming into the next one full force, not messing up, bringing a great performance again. But no, we keep doing the same thing. And it's just by pure luck that we haven't lost these last few games. That we managed somehow to like squeeze a win in all of them. But I don't know how much that's gonna last. Really, it's not going to. Even tomorrow, I'm worried for that game against Osasuna, even though Osasuna should not be a team we should be worrying this much about. Yes, they're not. I'm not discrediting them. Definitely not. They're a good team. But now we're feeling even more uncertain about this. I hope the players have recovered. I hope they have focused. I hope they have looked themselves in the mirror and realized that they cannot be doing this anymore. And they should focus. They should know that how much this means. If we can win this trophy now, this weekend. Because tonight, we saw when you mess up, when you're not focused, you see what happens in the Madrid derby, in this cup. Atletico Madrid, they were leading. They came back multiple times, but then they, in the last minutes of full time, like normal time, they concede again. Bullshit goal. They lose focus. And what do they do in the extra time? A few minutes away from getting to penalties, they concede again. Like Brian Diaz or whoever it was. this is just unbelievable that we should be taking a look at that and see that we should not be doing the same stuff. We should be playing like we did last year in this cup. When we went in there and dominated then. Both in the semi-final and in the final. In the final, we beat Real Madrid 4-0. Yeah. It was a blowout. I'm not expecting a blowout this time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. I will be an idiot to be trying to expect something like that right now. But what I'm at least expecting is for us to be playing well. To go in there and fight. And not just do stupid things that gives away the game. I don't care if we win it scrap play by 1-0 or 2-1 or something like that, 3-2, whatever. That's fine. But as long as we goddamn fight for it, as long as we go in and actually play, and their goals don't come from stupid mistakes that we make. If they score, I get it. Like if someone scores and it's just they just caught us somewhere, okay, I get it. It's football. It's bound to happen. But that we go in and play well and score first and then we just mess up. Or that we concede very much early as well. That's also been a constant thing recently. Not just that we concede first, but we concede very much early in the game. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this tomorrow, or I don't want to see this in the potential final if we reach it. Especially not in the final against Real Madrid. That would be terrible. That would be like just giving up entirely. That would be like, game S word. I cannot say that word here, but just, doing that to ourselves. Right? It's like, we're just giving up, just funk, we're out. No. We should not be doing that. We should not be doing that. 100%, that is the most dumbest thing we can do. Making individual mistakes that leads to stupid shit like that, that's what messes us up. This is the first trophy now for the season we can win now. We're still in every single competition. I still believe we have a chance in all the competitions. But the players need to wake up. The mentality needs to change. Because when I look at that team, I see no mentality whatsoever. If we play like we played versus a 4th-tier team against Osasuna, and also I don't even need to talk about Real Madrid, because if we play against Osasuna like that, we won't even make it to the final. I don't care if it's a neutral ground, right? I don't care about that. There's no home or away fans. Like, I don't care. The atmosphere is still there. We should be doing this, just like we did last year. That's how you play. I was proud of that team last year. That was one of the best highlights of last season. Other than, like, one of the main highlights, other than that Kissier classical goal that won us that classical, right? And pretty much won us the league. Those were the two main stuff. We played like crazy then during last like spring, late winter and spring. We played incredibly well. Yes, it wasn't the greatest Barcelona side I've ever seen, no. But we had heart. We had strong mentality. We fought for it. The defense was good. The attack was good. Everything was firing on like it should be. That's why we won those 2 trophies. That's why we won the Super Cup and La Liga. I don't see that right now in this team. And I'm not leaving Xavi out either. He needs to get his stuff together as well. He needs to motivate this team and get everybody to working properly again. Some of the decisions that he's been making lately have been just very much questionable. They've been very questionable. And I just don't understand why and how he's been doing such stupid decisions. Making such stupid decisions. Some of the lineups he's been doing and substitutions and stuff. It just really makes no sense. It really doesn't. And it's just boggles my mind. But anyways, this is already way too long. Let's just get into the last few things. Hopefully we can win tomorrow. Tomorrow we do have the game against Osasuna in the Super Cup semi-final, and I hope that we can get through that well and strongly. Pedri might play a little bit. Roja will probably get some too. And we'll see about Cancelo, what happens, if it's gonna feature or not. I'm just praying for a good result. You know, it will be very frustrating if we don't make it to the final and Real Madrid are there. If we don't, we're pretty much giving it to them. You know they're gonna find a way to fucking beat us, Osasuna. It's just they beat freaking Atletico Madrid tonight. They had a harder team to face than us. Our way to the final is way more easier than theirs. But you know, it's up to us to really get it done. Those players need to get their mentality good. They need to know how much this means. This is not just a mess around trophy right now. I know it's the lowest, like the smallest trophy of all the ones we can win this season, but it's still a trophy. I want us to play like we did last season. I don't need all the goals the same way, like scoring as many goals, but I want the same mentality. That's what I want to see. Okay, moving on now. Just on the transfers first off before I go into some of the last news. Transfers so far has been a little bit up and down. We still haven't gotten a clear picture of which midfielder we're gonna sign this January if we can. We're still waiting for some like finance stuff for selling of Barça team to kind of get more for it, but I think there's this Aleix Gonzalez or whatever the frick his name is. I don't know. A midfielder from Girona. Still looking at him as a possible one, and a few others. We'll just see what happens, but we do need some more squad depth. So I hope we get it done. I hope Laporta, Xavi, and Deco, they all get it done. Because it is very much needed. So we'll see. There's also some news new on Lucas Bergwall, which we're still following and trying to get. We have been talking to you, Gordon, and they have been responding back. We'll be talking more. We'll keep negotiation going with them and see what offers we can give. And there's one more thing. I can exactly what it was. Yeah, right. Because they will not be asking for anything more than around like 7 million. At least like it will be under 7 million, I think that it said, or something for the asking price, really. So we should be able financially to get him, and it shouldn't be a problem. Whether we do that now or in the summer, we'll see. But hopefully we can get it done as soon as possible because he's a good talent, and I would definitely love to see another Swedish player in there again. Because there is some good players here. We have some good players here, like that are talented, young players that are talented, and I think he can be one of those that could do well in Barcelona. So, we will see where that goes. And next up, well, the last thing, like, it's not too much to talk about. There's been some other results here and there. Chelsea in their Carabao Cup, they lost to Middlesbrough. You know, once again, Chelsea's just a whole mess, right? At least we're in a mess, but at least we're not in that kind of mess, right? um, Tonight Liverpool won against Fulham. So we'll see next week what that Carabao Cup final will actually be looking like after the second played. But it's just it's weird. It's weird seeing a team like Chelsea just sinking like that. It's just, yeah. As many people have said, I'm not trying to make thing, but like many people are calling that mid-table madness over there in England. So it's, yeah, it is what it is. It's sometimes it happens to big clubs like that. If you just make one bad decision, kind of almost did for us because of our last president we had, because of Bartomeu. Which, by the way, also speaking of him, he was at that Copa del Rey game. Who invited him? Why in hell is he ever allowed near this club again? Like, I don't understand it. Who, like, yeah, because it's not in our home ground, right? No, it doesn't matter where we're playing. We could be playing on the moon. He should not be allowed anywhere near this club again, ever. He should be banned for every stadium that we ever play on. It just, I don't know. But yeah, other than that, there's not too much news. Right, yeah, Timo Werner has gone to Tottenham on loan for 6 months now, thinking he's gonna win some trophies. I don't know what he's thinking there, but we'll see what he does. I guess they need someone to score goals, but I don't know. he's looking like almost like a mistake signing for a forward like Havertz has been with Arsenal, because he's not been doing good at all there. Looking more and more like a big mistake on Arsenal's part. Which, by the way, also they have been bottling it up again. They went out of the FA Cup. And yeah, you see this mostly always like with Arsenal. At the first half of the season, they're doing okay. They're up there. And heck, even sometimes even at the top spot in the league. But as soon as the second half of the season comes around, they start to fall. And not just in the league, but everywhere else as well too. So now the last thing they only have is the Champions League, technically, and I don't know, the league, if they even think they can even get close to that, but which I don't think they will. Neither of those competitions are looking anywhere bright for them, so somewhat of another write-off season. We'll see how far they make it through the Champions League. If they even make it past the round of 16, that's gonna be interesting to see. But okay, that's overall is pretty much everything for now. I just wanted to come on and just talk a little bit about rant a little bit, because the mentality, that needs to be the biggest thing for Barcelona. If we don't have the mentality, we're not gonna go anywhere. That's the main thing that needs to be worked on. I'm okay with conceding smaller goals like this if we are already up a lot, if we're doing good in the game. I'm not saying that I don't expect us to keep us a clean sheet every time. But when it happens in such dumb ways, and this constantly, like, I just don't understand it. Like, how? And there was a very surprising stat by the end of last year that said we were the team that kept the most clean sheets throughout 2023. Like, what? In the top 5 leagues? I was really surprised by that. Because in the last 6 months, that didn't really feel like it, right? But I guess that's mostly because of last season, the later half of last season, when we did keep a lot of clean sheets. That pretty much won us like all those 1-0 victories pretty much throughout like March and April or so. I guess those paid off in that sense, right? And also for us winning the league. So I guess that's why probably. But I just judging by the last 6 months, that's just doesn't make any sense really. But that's what it is. Just really, really weird, really, really weird. And I just hope that this mentality can change in this team. That all these players just start focusing in front of goal, in the midfield, and in the back. Enough individual mistakes, enough wasted chances, and enough messing around in the middle. We need a complete, full, good performance tomorrow, hopefully. And we can start turning this season around for us. Because we are still very much alive in every competition as of recording of this video. Right? You're still very much alive in every competition. So, if we want any trophies this time around, if we want to go the big way in through the Champions League, we gotta focus. We gotta get this done. Some good parts about that Champions League team, though, is that Napoli has also not been the greatest lately. They have been losing a lot, and they have not been the greatest form. So we are looking more like the favorites going into that game. But with this team, anything can happen, really. So we shouldn't still underestimate them at all. Yes, last time we faced them, we did win in the Europa League, but but at least that's maybe something. We're not facing a team that's 100% in their full form, at least. But even then, if we make it past Napoli, who knows what's waiting for us in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals. We need to regain focus. We need to regain our good mentality that we had last spring. If we have that mentality, right, and we have the quality of the players that we do have right now, right, with Gunja, with Vitor Roca, with Frankie, Pedri, Cancelo, all that, and all the youngsters as well. I think we can go far. I think we can make it far, or at least win a couple trophies. If not the treble, but at least maybe go far enough and try to get this Super Cup, get the Copa del Rey, and we'll see which either one of the league or the Champions League. We'll see. I would love it. I would love it if we can do it. Either get a domestic treble or just a normal treble again. I know that's looking way too hard. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. Definitely not at the moment. I'm not expecting, but nothing is impossible, really, in football. Time is running out for us. It's still not too late yet for us to really go on and win the major trophies. But for us to do that, something has to happen now. Before the end of this month, this team's mentality all the tactics and everything needs to be fixed enough. Just enough for us to really go and do it. I'm not expecting everything to change and be a whole miracle. No, we have to wait until the summer for that. But at least well enough so we can go on and actually compete for all the trophies for these next 5 to 6 months. Because otherwise, we just can't give up on the season already. Right? If we keep thinking like this. It's not good. And it's just going to get tougher and tougher, Even the smaller teams, even in La Liga, everybody is playing more hard and harder as the season goes on. More and more towards the end. Right? Things get tougher and tougher because all the teams want to fight for what they want to achieve. even the lower bottom tier teams, like they're on the lower table, they want to stay, get a good position on the table. They want to stay up in the league, in the cups. They want to go as far as possible because they haven't been there for as long. In the Champions League as well, people want to reach that final. They want to reach that glory. Everybody is desperate and fighting for it. That's why we need to do that too. We need to be that desperate and also be that, but in a good way. You know, we need to go and just make things happen. Xavi, the players, Porto, everybody. We need that Barcelona right now back. The Barcelona that were great, solid in defense last season. The Barcelona that won the league very much well, at least a month or so in advance, right? That Barcelona. If we do that, then I believe we have a chance to at least achieve some good things this year. But we'll see. We'll see. Well, that's gonna do it at least for this video. I know it's a little bit long one, but gee, that's like a little beginning of the year special thing. And I promise not all videos are gonna be this long, but I just wanted to. I had a lot to say really surrounding a few things. That's why, hence the length. So, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, leave a like down below and also subscribe if you're not done already, and ring that notification bell as always to get notified whenever a new video gets uploaded. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. So for the best tomorrow, right? Bye. Visca Barça.